Good evening, graduates, faculty, and guests. Tonight I am proud and honored to introduce the valedictorian for the class of 2012, Kathryn Clark. Throughout her 4 years of Starr's Mill, Kathryn has not only dedicated herself to academics, but has also reached beyond the walls of the school and involved herself in the community. I would like to take this time to share just a few of Kathryn's many accomplishments with you. She was a member of Beta Club, National Honor Society, Science Olympiad, where she won 4 awards at the regional, state, and national level. She participated in a host of diverse activities, from the Econ Challenge team to being the assistant editor for the creative writing magazine, Music. Kathryn was also active in the Fine Arts department, working on the stage crew for the musical Zombie Prom, and playing the saxophone in marching band, jazz band, symphonic, and wind ensemble. Despite the fact that she was committed to many academic activities and clubs at school, Kathryn was a dedicated Girl Scout for 11 years, earning her Gold Award, and was part of the Rivers Alive project for the cleanup of Lake Horton Park. Serving in her church is an important part of Kathryn's life. Running the sound system for VBS, teaching youth Sunday school, and helping with cleanup days at the church are just a small portion of her contributions. Sharing her numerous gifts and talents, Kathryn taught saxophone lessons to elementary school and middle school students, and tutored others in the sciences. In the fall, Kathryn will attend the University of Georgia with many of her fellow classmates. She was one of 35 students to receive the Presidential Leadership Scholarship from UGA. Kathryn is pursuing her passion for the sciences as she plans on majoring in biology with a minor in chemistry. She is an extremely ambitious young lady and is one of the sweetest people to walk through the halls of Starr's Mill. Whenever you do not understand a concept during class, she is the first one to patiently explain something that took her only seconds to master. Kathryn is a well-rounded student and a hard-working individual. So, it is an honor and a privilege to present the valedictorian for the class of 2012, Kathryn Clark.
Good evening, everyone. I was told I needed to get a couple of good laughs from my speech, and I know my dad gives a few chuckles from his puns, emphasis on the few, so I thought I'd start with a couple of them. 2 atoms are walking down the street. One says, "I think I lost an electron." The other says, "Are you sure?" The first replies, "I'm positive." A man takes his sick dog to the vet and says, "Doctor, doctor, do you think you can heal him?" The doctor replies, "No, no, I think we'll have to bury him." But in all seriousness, a Zen monk walks into a pizza parlor and says, "Make me one with everything." They bring out his pizza, and he got what he ordered. So he hands the cashier a $50 bill. The cashier puts the money in the register and starts to turn away. When the monk asks for his change, the cashier says, "Change must come from within." Change. What a scary thing. Yet, it's always happening, and our class certainly knows all about that. Starting in middle school, we were the guinea pig class. The first major change was with science. Our class was the first class where the sciences were reordered, making earth science a 6th grade course and physical science an 8. Upon reaching high school, we again had a major change occur. The entire math program was redone. This new math had all the disciplines of math taught in 1 year. You'd be taking some algebra and some geometry and some statistics. Math is not the only change that started with the high school class. The graduation requirements were also adjusted. We were required to have 4 sciences compared to the previous 3, and with the change in the graduation test, the third one, junior year, had to be a physics. In a way, we are the class of change. Furthermore, the changes that affected our class didn't just occur at school. The year many of us were born, 1993, marks some incredible firsts of the world. Personal digital assistants, better known as PDAs, were produced on a larger scale for the first time. Now called smartphones, these devices have changed the way we live our life. They keep track of our calendar, have access to endless amounts of knowledge, and can be easily carried anywhere. Perhaps one of the biggest events in terms of how much our lives were affected was the sending of the first phone-to-phone text message. It was sent in Los Angeles and said, "Birth." Over 4.1 billion messages are sent per day now. Texting changed the way people communicate and changed the language of today, adding slang like LOL, soil, and YOLO. On September 11, 2001, disaster struck the United States and changed everyone's lives. Whether it was knowing that a dad would never come home again, or just having to deal with increased airport security, the collapse of the Twin Towers was a devastating change to the United States. We celebrated the 10-year anniversary this past September, near the start of our senior year. In 2001, we were just starting 2nd grade, and this event became the defining moment of our generation. As Matt mentioned earlier, this is why all the graduates are carrying the flag today. We are one of the last classes who can actually remember that day. However, whether you remember it or not, 9/11 still greatly changed America and the way we live today. The world has quite obviously changed around us, sometimes for the better, sometimes not. As we enter the real world, as my dad likes to say, now is our opportunity to be an impact. Will we be agents of change or elements tossed by it? Will we affect the life of another or let others affect us? Will we make the change or will we be surprised by it? With the knowledge of high school behind us and the many opportunities ahead of us, we can be the agents of change. How? Be passionate. Run to make a change. Walking's too slow to reach the goal. Ask questions. No answers will be found without investigation, and it's hard to have a positive effect on the world when you don't even know what needs to be changed. Teach, but also learn. Enrich someone's life by showing them a skill they never knew they could do. However, be willing to have your life enriched when someone else is teaching. Major changes especially will require both teaching and learning. Find your vision and inspire. Like Martin Luther King Jr., everyone has a dream, a vision for the world. Start the changes that make it come true. Without people who had a better vision of a way to communicate, the smartphone wouldn't exist. Be and make the change you want to see in the world. Passion, curiosity, teaching and learning, a vision. Anyone can have these traits. Anyone can be an agent of change. Whether you're big or small, or anyone at all, you too can change the world. I feel like Dr. Seuss would have said that, but I couldn't find a quote where he said it. We all have the power to bring about change. An agent of change doesn't have to be any one way. Steve Jobs, a man with some of the greatest impact on technology today, had only one semester of college and had no training as a computer scientist. He was also adopted, but none of this kept him from bringing his visions to life. Jobs had a vision for perfection that brought his changes to the world. While I'm not saying you shouldn't go to college, remember that, like Jobs, you don't have to have a perfect life to make a difference. We all can change the world. So, congratulations, class of 2012. We made it through high school, but we still have a whole future ahead of us. Rather than being tossed by the waves, let's be the waves. Let's go change the world.